I apologize that this took so long to come out, but as promised, I said I would provide an update to my audience in regards to Vincent Nicotra, and so here it is. By the way, I had a conversation with Chris Hansen over the phone, and I'll have a video on that coming very, very soon. So it seems that things have settled down to some degree from what I've seen as of late, at least in regards when it comes to Vincent Nicotra. Anything else that may be going on with him behind the scenes, I'm kind of out of the loop with that. But I figured now would be a good time to offer a little bit of an update in regards to how things have panned out for Vincent. Chris finally fired Vincent after more than 6 months of bungling and behaving like a child, which is an odd statement to make when Vince worked with a man who protects kids from men who prey on children. It took 3 weeks or better for Chris to finally publicly acknowledge that he was working with someone that was going to drag what little bit of a reputation that he still had left through the mud. And trust me, if you look into it, you're gonna find a swamp that needs draining. This finally all came to a head when Hansen's mod team released a statement addressing their concerns of Mr. Come Heavy. And that letter reads as follows. In light of recent events, we have elected to publish our own group statement. This is under our own directive, separate from Chris Hansen and his affiliates. To clarify, none of us have been in agreement with Vincent's behavior. Regarding the initial hack, Vincent had sent a variation of his initial offensive tweet to Regina. Whether or not he or his friend, who is also coincidentally named Chris, posted it is unclear. Behind the scenes, during the initial few days of the fallout from that tweet, Vincent had to be repeatedly talked to by a handful of moderators. He was repeatedly told that he was putting both the moderation team and Chris Hansen in a bad position and was damaging the credibility of the investigation by continuing his behavior. He not only ignored us, he also began to act volatile and abusive, only calming down and begging for help when the reality of his actions became apparent to him. During this time, he also complained that he felt unappreciated for the work that he does. Chris has also been approached about Vincent and his conduct a number of times, and he said that he would like to fire him. Unfortunately, Chris has said that he also needs to figure out how to replace him so that this can happen. We are unsure of the truth of this statement, but we are in mutual agreement that ultimately Chris Hansen is well-intentioned and out of his depth of knowledge with regards to the internet and online culture. We had no idea that Vincent's claims were fraudulent regarding Sarah's laptop, nor that it had been returned to her until after the morning of January 21st. We were shocked and horrified and above all appalled by this discovery. We do not know if these lies were exclusively delivered to the public or to Chris Hansen himself, but either way, we are deeply upset by them. Additionally, the moderation team was pushed by Vincent to publicize or share information for him. Many of us did so assuming him to be a trustworthy source of information. At present, this entire debacle calls into question the credibility of the information, and we are deeply sorry for furthering this man's blatant lies. We moderators are not paid for our work, nor do we care to be. We ultimately agreed to our positions either because we knew the survivors of Greg and Kai's abuse, or because we wanted to help create an environment where abusive survivors could tell their story safely and on their own terms. The victims that we are in contact with are also heartbroken by the news. Several feel ashamed and taken advantage of and are fearful of the backlash that they may receive from this entire incident. We are sorry for the role our silence on this issue has played. It was requested that this be handled privately, but we cannot remain silent on these flagrant issues any longer. We stand with the survivors and we always will. Thank you, signed Hansen Mod Admins, and then of course the Hansen Mod Admins names follow that statement. I think your only concerns of shots fired is in your own foot, Vinny. Since Vincent's removal, he has managed to repeatedly change the conditions of Hansen's website in an attempt to smear Chris Hansen, which at this point isn't even necessary. Vince, don't try to act like this was a hack. It wasn't witty, and all you managed to accomplish was hanging yourself. Ironic when you consider your ancestral blood ties. If at this point you may feel sorry for this jerk, just remember that he did shit like this, as well as this, and many other things. So for now, it seems like Vincent will drift into obscurity, at least until he's required to show his face in court. For now, Chris has made a formal and public apology for the behavior of Vincent on his behalf, including the doxing of West Most, Yap Yap, and others, and the channel strikes against Baked Salmon. But one question still remains. Is Chris on the up and up? Can he be trusted to see this onion roast through? Or will he continue to practice shady dealings in the background? many of us still have concerns surrounding where Chris's morality lies. What exactly is his motivation to bring down Onision? Does he really seek justice for the victims like he claims he does? Or is this just about keeping his legacy alive and the potential financial gains he can make along the way? Will Mike Morse ever be addressed? Or will that continue to be ignored just like Vincent was ignored for so long? I guess for now we'll just have to wait and see. And with that being said, that's going to conclude the rest of this video. There's not much else that I can really say about Vincent. He's been severed from the team. Chris has openly discussed and privately discussed with myself that he was disgusted by Vincent's behaviors and that he had to cut ties with someone who would throw out racial slurs and make insensitive jokes about handicapped individuals. And for anyone that thinks that Chris Common is the same as Vincent Nicotra, they are different people, but they're both idiots. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel because it's absolutely free. Leave me a comment down in the comment section below. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on this continuing investigation. Leave me a comment down in the comment section below. I'd like to hear your thoughts on Vincent Nicotra as well as the ongoing investigation that Chris has against Onision. This is something that people are going to be talking about for quite some time, so I am open to having any kind of discussion. My name has been Digital Goon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.